Hey guys, this is the 2021 Mazda CX-30. The CX-30 is Mazda's entry in the very popular subcompact SUV category. So it's here to compete with perhaps the Kona, the RAV4, all of those really popular vehicles. But people love the CX-30, and after driving it a little bit, I can see why. But there are some really interesting problems with this car that I want to be sure you get. So stay with me and we'll talk them through. There are a few things I just love about this vehicle. Let's get into them right away. So one is, I just think it looks good. I mean, look at it. First of all, there's this great metallic red color that Mazda came out with a few years ago that I think is fantastic. I don't know why they're not making nail polish in that, but that's a different story. The other one is just the layout of this. It's really clean, simple. And the interior for the size of this feels really spacious. Fantastic. Another thing I really liked was the way this car drives. So this is the all-wheel drive version. It's the 2.5 liter turbocharged engine that's putting out, let's see, 227 horsepower and 310 foot-pound of torque, which sounds like a lot for such a small car, but it just didn't feel as powerful as it should have, but the way it handled was really nice. The trim I have here is the Premium Plus, which is really the highest end trim you can get on this vehicle, which brings you close to between $34,000 and after destination, we're at $35,000 with this vehicle. And that is a lot of money for a little Mazda. But it's loaded with all kinds of safety features. As I said, this turbocharged engine, a lot of conveniences in the interior, as well as a really nice roomy interior. Okay, so this CX-30 is loaded with all kinds of safety features. We've got lane departure warning, automatic braking, rear cross traffic alert. It also does that thing where it shows the stop sign on your dashboard. Fantastic. And that all sounds really great for such an economical vehicle. However, you really get into this old adage, which is you get what you pay for. I found that these sensors just were not up to par. For example, the rear cross traffic alert, I back out of my driveway and there's a lot of traffic there. And very often it would alert me when it was kind of too late, when I would have rammed into someone. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind with these sensors, that especially in more economical cars. You cannot rely on them. They're a good backup, but you can't put all your faith in them. So that's something to keep in mind with the CX-30. I definitely found that the RAV4 sensors were a lot better. Another thing that was nice in terms of some of the upgrades I was in this vehicle was the heated seats, heated steering wheel. A few things to note about that though. While the heated seats were really strong and I thought they were fantastic, the heating steering wheel, here's how they got around you paying too much for that. It only heats right here, which is great because that's where you're supposed to keep your hands. But if you're cold and you put your hand up here and it's 30 degrees out, it's going to be ice cold. So keep that in mind. The back seat in the CX-30 is fine once you're back here. This door is obviously really a small opening, so it's not necessarily that fun to get in and out of, but it is a subcompact SUV, so what do you expect? There are vents back here, however, for the back seat, which really keeps it from feeling too stuffy. And we've got cup holders both in the doors and on the armrest in this trim. Obviously, this is a hatchback. It's got the 60/40 rear split as well as privacy glass in the back as well as a cover right here. It's a really large space back here. You probably won't need any more than that. Let's talk a little bit about the drive. The all-wheel drive is a lot of fun in this vehicle, and there is a sports mode, which sounds great, but I didn't think it was fun at all. Normally I always tell you guys, put it in sport mode, put it in manual mode, you'll have so much fun. In this car, I don't give you that advice. Leave it out of sports mode and just get on the gas. You'll have a great time without it. When you do engage it, it's just a little torquey for me. I thought it was irritating. Mazda's really upped their game in terms of its design in the last few years. It really is evident here in this interior. I love how streamlined all of this is and the way that they've opened up the dashboard here a little bit so that you feel like you have more room. My kids were pretty quick to point out that it feels that you're really, really close to this windshield. As clean and simple as this display is, I found the infotainment anything but intuitive. There's a lot of layers you have to go through to get to the simple buttons that you need, and that's really irritating. I do like the way that everything is laid out. It's got simple controls right next to your stick, where your stick shift would be, but other than that, the infotainment is pretty much infuriating. I have averaged about 24 miles to the gallon driving this, and I do drive quite aggressively, so that's pretty good mileage for a car that's not a hybrid. The CX-30 Premium Plus all-wheel drive features a 2.5 liter turbo with a 6-speed sport mode. The engine is creating 227 horsepower and 310 foot-pound of torque. This trim features a moonroof with rear privacy glass and 18-inch wheels. There's a dual zone AC with rear vents, a power driver's seat, a Bose sound system, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. The MSRP for this trim, the Premium Plus, is $33,900, and the total with destination is $35,995. So there you have it. The Mazda CX-30 is a great looking car and has a lot of great features, but there are some drawbacks that you need to be aware of before you go test drive it. If you do, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe and like if you can. Thanks so much for watching.